Hello, welcome to today's video. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sabrina, also known as Marie J in these YouTube streets. But today I'm doing, gosh, a long overdue foundation routine. I don't even know when was the last time I filmed a foundation routine, but I wanted to just sit. I'm literally sitting on the floor in my living room, tripod, makeup on the ground, just very chill, relaxed, laid back. I wanted to just update you guys on all of the products I've been using on this face right here. My makeup routine's pretty simple. I'm just pretty much updating you on the products that I've been loving for my like everyday makeup routine. Let's talk skin type. So I do have more like oily, acne prone skin. I recently figured out when I went to go get a facial, I figured out that I actually might have combination skin right now. But once the summertime hits, girl, I'm oily. So a lot of the products I use are kind of catered to oily skin. However, I do like a very natural look and feel to my makeup. I do not want to feel like I have a bunch of stuff on, even though I do put a bunch of stuff on. I don't want it to feel that way, and I don't want it to look that way. So if that's kind of your vibe, you'll probably like this. But without further ado, I don't really have anything else to say. If you're not subscribed to this channel and you like a little hint of makeup, a little lifestyle, a little fashion, subscribe. Welcome to the family. But now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this makeup. All right, so here's my skin. No makeup aside from my eyebrows, and my skin's doing really good right now. Let's keep it that way. But I do still have, you know, a little bit of redness, some hyperpigmentation and blemishes. So for my foundation, I typically like to go for like, you know, a nice little medium coverage, buildable medium. I'll do a full coverage still too. I have actually a full coverage one I'm going to show you. So the two foundations that I've kind of had on rotation lately, this first one, every time I wear it, I kid you not, every time I wear it, I get complimented on my makeup, on my skin, how my face looks. So when I first got this, I wasn't sure if I was gonna love it because it kind of gives BB cream, but no, it's bomb. It is buildable. Let me show you. It's the Fenty Ease Drop Blurring Skin Tint. This one right here from Fenty Beauty. I usually use shade 10 or I believe it's 12 or 14. But this is my shade as of right now. I freaking love that one. And then my recent full coverage fave has been this one, which I don't see a lot of people talk about this foundation, but it's the Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. And for an oily skin girl, I usually look at foundations like this, I'm like, no, it has a lot of shimmer or it's gonna make me look dewy. No, this is fire. It's actually pretty matte in my opinion. It's full coverage. The longer that I wear this, the better it looks on my skin. My mood today, what's my mood today? We'll do a little full coverage today. I'll do the Ambient Soft Glow Foundation, and this is in the shade 6.5. And this foundation I specifically love because I find that it's a pretty good match for me. Lately I've been trying to steer away from really yellow or orange foundations because I'm finding that I'm not really yellow or orange. And so, I mean, in the summer, typically my skin does get a little bit warmer and more orangey tan, but for the most part, lately I've been trying to just get a lot of neutral shades, and this one matches me like perfectly. And by the way, the brush that I'm using is the Sephora Pro Foundation 47 brush. Foundation is on. My face looks very bland. It needs a little flavor. So in the meantime, before I put my concealer, I'm gonna put this Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter, but I use this in a deeper shade as a cream bronzer. I use the shade 6.5 deep. I have the mini one. If you watch all my videos and stuff, I showed this in a video a long time ago. This is the same exact one. I should probably get a new one because it's probably low-key expired, but this is the travel size, and I have not even gone through like half of it, so I don't think I would ever purchase the full size of this, to be honest, because yeah. Anyway, so I am going to apply this all on my forehead and on my cheeks, and I like to let this sit while I do my concealer because it's very thin and sheer, and I find that if I blend it out right away, it doesn't give me as much pigmentation. So again, gonna let it sit. And for concealer, the one I've been using as of lately, I'm back to being a NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer girly, and I'm using shades Ginger and Madeline. I might add a little bit of my Too Faced one just because that one is too good, but we'll just do some of this first. I need a new one because this one's running low. This is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in vanilla. I know most people usually do their bronzer first and then their concealer. For some reason, I like doing my concealer before blending out my bronzer, because I find that when I blend out my bronzer then do my concealer, most of my bronzer ends up kind of like underneath the concealer, and that's not what I prefer. I like my bronzer to be like prominent, so that's why I do it after. All right, and now to blend the cream contour. This is the Sephora Pro Foundation brush in 64. I like this brush because it's more of a stippling brush and it's nice and dense, so I always use this for the cheekbones. Do y'all see how the skin looks? Usually people use that Flawless filter underneath for that filtered look, but on top as a bronzer, fire. To make sure I didn't get any bronzer a little bit too low, I have really been enjoying doing this. So I'll take a little bit of my concealer. This is not new or anything, but I'll just take some, put it down here. Usually I do this with just powder, but doing it with concealer and powder really just makes the cheeks pop. So to blend though, I use the exact same brush that I use for foundation, just so it's not too bright. And then so it doesn't look as harsh, whatever's left on the sponge, I will just go on top and just kind of blend out any edges. A pink under eye powder is like all the rage. So I have this one from Givenchy. It's the Prisme Libre Matte Finish and Enhanced Radiant Loose Powder. This has 4 different shades. The shade that I have is, oh gosh, number 3. I'm not gonna pronounce the name, but it's 4 different shades within one powder, if I can show you. So it's a light pink shade, a peachy tone, another pink tone, and then a banana yellow. Oh, I don't want it to spill. Boom, there you go. So this is the banana shade, this is the light pink shade, the deeper pink, and the peach. All perfect colors for underneath the eye because it's gonna help to kind of brighten but also cancel out any darkness with the pink tones. So when I dip my sponge in there, I'm gonna make sure to like really spread it out throughout all the different powders so I can get all of them on there. Of course, blending out any creases and then quickly setting it. And this is matte. This powder is gonna lock in your under eye for sure. Oh, and by the way, this smells like luxury. Smells really good. We're gonna dust this off. I do not let this sit on my skin for a long time because our foundation's pretty matte, the powder's matte, and I don't want my skin to look super dry. So to dust it off, I'm using this. I didn't know Morphe came out with new brushes. This is forget, I think it's like a pro collection or something like that, but these brushes look so freaking sleek. This is the Morphe V106. You can see it's this small kind of teardrop shaped fluffy brush, so I'm using this to right away dust off all of that powder. And just when you thought we used enough powder, we did not, because I'm setting the rest of my face. Mind you, I have oily skin, so if you have dry skin, please do not do this. It probably might not work for your skin. But I am using the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. This is a tried and true shade 35 bronze is the one that I'm using as of right now. Said it before, I'll say it again, this powder is incredible for all skin types actually, but obviously for dry skin, just be a little more light-handed. But I'm going to take quite a bit of that on this Sephora 55 Pro Foundation brush, and I will set the kind of outer perimeter of my face where I didn't apply the Givenchy. And this is just going to make sure I still have a little color to my skin, setting the other areas, and it also kind of blends everything together. Bronzer, I should say powder bronzer. This palette has been a go-to for me. It's the Juvia's Place bronzer palette in the shade Tan, and I typically go for the top shade. So it has two different ones, which I love because sometimes you want a little more bronziness, but I've been doing this one on top as of lately. And if I need a little more, I'll just do a little tap of the deeper one. And this is a blush brush, the 96 brush from Sephora. I'm gonna use it for bronzing and for my blush. So first, taking that bronzer. I'm also taking some of that on a smaller fluffy brush, putting some on my nose, not necessarily to contour it, but just so there's a little color on my nose and it's not just like completely plain. I don't know why I like to do like a little tip of the nose right here. I like how that looks on my face. And then I do take some right here. Don't know why, I just like that. And then a tiny bit on my eyelids, because my eyes, again, I don't want them to look stark white like that. And then blush. Let's do, what do we want to do? Oh, okay, blush. This has been my jam lately. The also Juvia's Place blush palette, duo palette in volume 2. This one, and it has 2 blushes as well. And this is another one that I will sometimes mix both. This peachy color, perfect for summer, so pretty. It's peachy coral. And then this is, okay, you know how everybody's like, that pink blush trend is like super in right now? I think this one is a beautiful blush for a lot of different skin tones. It's not too light to where it's not going to show up on the skin. Girl, this blush, first of all, any of Juvia's Place products, pigmented, and this blush is no exception. It is pigmented, so please start with a little bit. Don't say I didn't warn you, because this stuff is no joke. So I'm just taking the lighter pink on that same brush. I'm lying, sorry. First we're bronzing, no, first we're doing highlighter. My bad, y'all, I completely forgot about that. The highlighter I've been obsessed with is the Rare Beauty one. It's, ooh, this one in the shade Exhilarate. That one, this is fire. And for a long time this was out of stock, and I'm glad I waited until it came back in stock to pick it up. And I didn't just give up on it, because this has been the best highlighter. A little bit goes a long way as well. So I'm just gonna apply that right up, like, I wasn't kidding. And I do my highlight before my blush because I like the way it blends better. I prefer it to look more blushy than very like highlighted, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want you to be able to tell I have highlighter. I want it to be peeking under through my blush, so that's why I put it first. It's all about layering. So just, if you've ever felt like your highlight's just kind of sitting on top, try doing it after your bronzer but before your blush. It's getting a little gloomy, so the lighting's adjusting, but ooh. Anyway, now we can do the blush. So taking that light peach, pinky one, And I go in with the blush. I love a good blush moment, and especially because this is such a light pink, you can go in with quite a bit of this. And because we did that Givenchy pink under eye powder, the blend is just perfect. See how everything is diffused together? You can't even tell where I put the under eye. Like this side, you can see under eye powder, bronzer, highlight. This side is like all nice and fleshed and blended together. That's the look that I like. Of course, a foundation routine is nothing without making sure to lock everything in place. I sometimes don't do this, but for the most part I do, because I really want my makeup to last. So 2 sprays that I like to use. One's a setting spray, one is more of a refresher, hydrating spray. The One Size On Till Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. And I like to use this mostly because it makes my makeup last long. I don't love it for like mattifying purposes per se, because I actually like more of a dewy hydrated look. So this is why I use this one first. So you want to make sure to shake it. By the way, if you use this, does it make you like cough really bad? I don't know what that's about, but I literally have to hold my breath, because if I inhale this, probably not good, but if I inhale it, I start to cough really bad. All right, don't breathe in. So that's locking everything in place. Oh my god, my skin looks, I feel like I have like a baby doll look right now. I love it. And then for that hydration, this is the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. It's for smoothing and for glowing. This is good even as just skincare after you finish your whole routine. Oh, perfect combination. So while this kind of sets, I'm gonna actually switch my battery out, and I'll do my lip color. I'll show you what I'm gonna put on my lips, and then that's my dishwasher. It's done. All right, so let me switch out this battery and we'll finish off. We're nice and zoomed out now. Lip color is the last thing. I thought might as well just include it because this lip combo has kind of been my jam lately as well. Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Foxy Brown to line my lips. I really only apply this color right on the outside. I do not really like to buff it in because that makes my lip color a lot darker than I want it to be. So I just use it literally to line. And then on top, kind of only on the outer parts of my lips, I use this Kylie liquid lipstick in Bare. And the last thing I go in with is this Sephora lipstick in, what is this? It's the satin, I think it's like the satin rouge or the rouge lacquer in the shade L23. I don't know the actual name, but it's like a light peachy color. Why is this so bright? Hold on. And this goes in the center. And I like to do this in the center because it's not matte. It's more creamy and moisturizing. Kind of gives a little 90s lip, but it's a really pretty nude. I will do a little mascara. The wand on this has a little curve to it. The camera's not going to focus on it, but it does have a nice curve. And the formula of it, I'm obsessed with. I don't really love a super wet mascara, but this one is just amazing. And I only apply it to the outer corner of my lashes very softly, because I honestly have been liking more of a no lash look. Nothing fancy really. The makeup's very flirty, very full coverage, pretty. This is my go-to if I'm going somewhere fancy, if I'm going to dinner, if I'm out and about and I just feel like being cute. It's just my favorite glam as of lately. So let me get this hair together and I will show you what the complete look looks like when I'm all put together. Here is the full look with the hair, the earrings, the makeup, the glowy skin. But of course, all the products that I use will be linked down below. Honestly, my makeup is very simple, very easy to follow. I pretty much do my makeup like this every time I do my makeup. I just kind of switch out the products that I use or like try new things, new launches, stuff like that. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Check below for products. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I love you all, and I will see you all in my next video.
So this brought around the way, instantly connected when he caught my eye. Nothing ever was the same, couldn't seem to get his picture out my mind. Then we took it all the way, I could have sworn he was just my type. Then he said to me,